I was in shock. I'm in pain and all that, but that's the only thing I could think to do. And about that time, give me 1 second. About that time, the person I now know to be, I'm trying to make sure I'm doing something here wrong. Give me just 1 second. Oh, why is my phone doing this? Are you still there? Yeah, let me. There is a TV going. I'm gonna cut that off real quick. And give me this 1 second. I'll get it out where you can hear me better. Yeah.
So you see, we've got the imposition of fascist methods.
TV. Where are you? Okay, is that better? No.
I think so.
No, it didn't stop. Let me stop it. Okay. All right, this should be better.
Okay.
Okay. So where was I?
You were laying down and you were praying. And...
Okay. Okay. So this is when I this part is actually what I signed a letter to the judge and the Jake Lang. He's a prisoner for January 6th, and he's still in custody. But it took me a long time to realize. So I told you I was saying that prayer, right? And then about that time, a person came up behind me and started to pull at my shoulder, to pull me up from the ground, to pull me up. And I told that person, I was like, no, 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 you'll break my leg. Because remember I told you my leg was trapped? I said, but go save those other people. And I pointed to the other people in the pile up. You know, you've seen the pictures of the people piled up down the stairs, the steps right there.
Yeah.
Because at first, man, I could see those people and they were scared and horrified and terrified, but they were awake, right? But as time went on, their eyes and stuff were fading out. They were fading out of consciousness. So this person, I didn't know who it was at the time, immediately lets me go. They hear me what I say the first time, and I hear this person kind of, they go over my shoulder to the left a little bit and go towards the tunnel. And again, I'm telling you what I witnessed and what I know to be the case afterwards. And I heard this person, who I now know to be Jake Lang, but I didn't match his voice to the video until like a year later. But I heard him say, "You're killing them, you're killing them." And when he did that, it did cause those police to stop with the violence, the actual, like in that moment, the actual intensity of all the punches or whatever you want to call it, the blows being thrown back and forth on both sides, all that died down for just a second. And you'll see people, I think one of the defendants' name is Kevin, there's other people coming, I'm at the rail, you see them help me get up. And when I get up, when I stand up, I'm slinging what I thought to be my book bag over my shoulder. And in the video, you can see that's when Lila Morris is striking Rosanne Boyland the 3/4 times. And I'm gonna explain why I say 3/4 times in here in just a moment, okay?
Right. Who was it that struck Miss Boyland?
She's a DC Metro cop. Her name is Lila Morris. There's been, you're the FBI agent, you'll be able to track this down better than me. This has all been handled very unorthodoxly, or it's not been handled normally. I can't say the word. There was some sort of quote unquote investigation, I think, that either the DC Metro cops did of themselves about her situation, and they said it was reasonably objectionable. I mean, objectionably reasonable what she did that day. Now, there was an Epoch Times documentary came out last week, and it had a 45-year-old police sergeant, a 45-year veteran of the police department, testified in hundreds of trials, and he basically says that what she did was murder, literally murder on the steps of the United States Capitol. So I said all that to say this: it's not like they're disputing the woman did it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. So after you finally you saw Lila Morris striking Miss Boyland?
Now this is what I'm going to clarify. I didn't see it that day, right? I remember all the chaos I was telling you about, all the pepper gas and tear bombs and stuff. It took me a good long while to piece all this together by looking at footage afterwards, and I probably sat through thousands of hours at this point. But and I worked with other investigators, and I can show you right now if I had a computer. And you're more than welcome to do this. Get on a Zoom call or something one day, and I can walk you through this footage, exactly what's happening. So, but where I was at in my story was I stand up, and while I'm standing up in this video footage that I can show you later, is where Luke Coffey, I don't know if you know who he is, he was arrested, and he's the guy with the crutch, right? Does that ring a bell? Luke Coffey.
No, sir, but I'm sure it will with some of my partners.
Yes. So what happens is about that time that I'm standing up, and I'll show you this in the video at some point in time, I'm being stood up, I'm in shock, and I immediately look down at Rosanne, right? And keep in mind, it was so chaotic right there in that time, and I can show you by looking at footage afterwards, that you could be standing 3 foot away from Rosanne Boyland, and you have no idea that she was just murdered. You have no idea there's a dead body laying there, right? It was that chaotic. So I just want to point that out. About that time, Luke Coffey, he's the defendant, he stands up and he says God told him to go stand in the gap. That's just what he felt like God told him to do. But this is, I can show you this on tape. Luke stands, he goes up there and he literally gets in between me and Lila Morris, and Rosanne Boyland's still laying on the ground there, and she is in the process of striking her 4 times. Let's call it 4 times. And on the 3rd strike, Luke puts his left arm up in a defensive way, and she actually strikes him with that stick that somebody had thrown up to the top of the tunnel. And then the 4th strike. So this is why I'm gonna tell you something. This is not what a lot of people realize either. A lot of people think Lila Morris did all the damage to her, I guess is what I want to say. Like, you know, I was telling you she had the bloody mouth and everything, and maybe Rosanne was conscious and all that. She wasn't. I mean, she wasn't dead either when we first hit the ground. That's what I wanted to tell people, right? And the reason I can tell you that is if you look at this Gary McBride, he's got a YouTube channel called M5 News. I'm just gonna tell you, as an FBI investigator, he has the most impeccable research of anybody on the planet. If you want to see a lot of this stuff, just go to his channel and watch it. He shows you on the 3rd strike, Lila Morris is coming down with a double hand blow to a downed, unconscious, bleeding Rosanne Boyland already on the ground, striking her in the head. And on the 3rd strike, you see Rosanne's left arm inadvertently jarred out to the left, right? And then I can tell you by looking at the video and everything, within 3 minutes of that, Rosanne has turned purple and dies. And there's video footage of her when the guys are giving her CPR on the steps of the Capitol right there. You'll see she's turning purple in that footage, because she was still flesh colored, like normal colored. Even though she was unconscious and bleeding, she still had tan in her face, if I want, you know what I'm saying? She still had color in her face. And then just to end up my little thing of me, what I could personally saw and felt and everything there that day, I stand there for a second and I'm in shock and my eyes are hurting. I got, you know, I had been tear gassed like 6 times that day, and it was like a constant barrage there at the end. I don't know what to think. All I know is I'm hurt, I'm beat up, and I can't do anything else. I turn around, I look down the tunnel, and there's like 40 or 50 riot cops right there. And I just turn around and run down the stairs. My glasses had been broke and I had lost the phone or whatever. So I kind of went over there and looked for that for a second. I couldn't find them. So I went and sat down and people just gave me water and stuff. And that's when all that craziness at what people will now call the party room, with those people breaking the window and going into there and bringing all the furniture out and throwing all the furniture at the cops and stuff after, say, 4:30 in the afternoon. That was, I didn't see any of that happen because I'm sitting there trying to get the tear gas out of my eyes, but I've seen it on video and everything. So 4:27 is when Rosanne Boyland dies, I think.
Okay.
And
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
So we have an agent in Washington, D.C. that is working on a lot of the Capitol riot stuff, but specifically on trying to find out information about Miss Boyland's death.
Yes, sir.
And I was tasked to call you, and this is obviously detailed information that you have here. I think you need to speak to the agent in D.C. because this sounds like very detailed and pertinent information.
Yep.
I'm gonna write all. I've written all this down, what you told me, but I think it needs to be even more detailed.
I feel like I could go on for hours. So I agree with you.
And what I want to do is, it might be me that calls you back, but it might be an agent out of D.C. because I think you need to sit down with someone more than what we've just done and really dive into it to make sure that they have all the information that they need.
Yes, sir. That's all I've been wanting to do for the last couple of years.
Yeah, because I know in my report it said that you called it and they didn't want to see.
I called 2 different times, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. As far as me calling the FBI about stuff, and I know this isn't why the FBI asked you to call me today, but I started doing reporting. I live in Denny Thompson's district, first of all, in Mississippi, and I started doing news stories back in 2020. It had nothing to do with President Trump. It was about, believe it or not, my local sheriff running dope and having people black in drug deals and stuff going back 35 years ago. And I'm just going to say it right now, this entire county is in on it. I have done and said things to these people you would not believe, and they will not come arrest me. They will not deny these charges. And you can look back on some phone system, you'll see where I called the FBI several times. As a matter of fact, I have a video recording of the phone call I had with the FBI agent back in 2020 saying these people are trying to kill me and nobody will help me. And the FBI agent, because I'm getting constant death threats, he says, well, we'll be monitoring your social media. So you guys have a longer history with me than just, I just don't want it to seem like I'm some January 6th nut that's trying to make a name for himself or get people out of trouble that deserve to be in trouble or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you, man, you're about to make me cry because I believe you. Okay? And you'll never know in a million years how important it is to me. So God bless you. Because,
Yeah, so is this your cell phone?
yes, sir.
If someone from DC calls, will you answer?
Yeah, I answer this. Like I said, I'm an investigative journalist, and I do a lot of stories. So I get a lot of anonymous stuff from poor black people because where I live is 90% black. So I leave my phone where anybody can call me, and I answer it no matter who it is.
Well, so here's what I'm going to do. Either myself or the guy from DC is going to call you back. It might be a longer conversation than what we're having here because it sounds like it needs to be, we need to record, and maybe we even need to come sit down with you and have a cup of coffee.
Let's do that. Yeah. Well, I can meet you guys somewhere. I have a friend that lives up in Tupelo area. I can even come to your office or something. It might be more comfortable.
Okay. I'll tell you what, let me make a call up to DC right now, and one of us will call you back, okay?
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate your help, man.
Thank you.
Thank
Sir.
you.
Appreciate it.
Uh-huh.